Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today in our workshop here at Capricorn's Cove. Today we are using spinach powder to dye a batch of soap green. Right here I am collecting about 100 grams of oil from my main batch. I like to do that for colorant rather than adding additional oil because I don't like to throw my ratios off. And we do this with a little separate bit of oil so that we can disperse the colorant a little better. If you add the colorant directly to your main batch, it can be hard to disperse it nicely. So first we add it to a carrier oil. So here I'm going to get between 4 and 6 tablespoons of the spinach powder. This is just dried powdered spinach. I ordered this on Amazon. We'll include a link to the product in the video description. But it's for making smoothies and shakes and whatever else you want to do. We're using it to dye soap. So and I try not to, because this is an instructional video, I try not to skip a lot of content. I know that it can sometimes be dull, so we do go into fast forward a few times. We're starting now. We'll go into fast forward a couple of times just so we're not spending all day watching me stir. So here I'm just working that spinach powder through the carrier oil, getting it good and dispersed, scraping the sides, getting it good and smooth, and making sure that it's ready to add to the main batch. And once that's done, we'll set it to the side. Here I'm pouring my heated oils into my mixing bowl. And then we're going to add our lye. This is a master batch of lye. I have another video on the channel showing how to master batch your lye if that's something you'd be interested in doing. It's essentially just making lye ahead of time. It does tend to, because it's at room temperature, it can take a lot longer to emulsify. When you bring less heat into this chemical reaction, it takes longer to get going. But it still works, it just takes a lot, or a little bit longer working the oil. So here's my immersion blender. We're going to go into fast forward again. The elapsed time that it takes to reach a good trace on this was about 5 minutes. So blend and stir, blend and stir. And you can see that it just takes a long time to start to emulsify it. And when there's less heat in this reaction, it just doesn't want to get going as fast, but it does go. This audio track we're listening to is called Bright Eyed Blues by the Unicorn Heads. It's available on YouTube Studio and the audio library for any YouTube creator that wants to use it. We appreciate them bringing a little bit of tune to our video here today. So you can see that's starting to get good and emulsified. We've got a good solid trace going on. Just work it up a little bit more until there's no more oil standing on top of the emulsified batter. Tap off our blender. And then here is our colorant from earlier. We're just going to scrape this into the batch or into the batter. And you can see here how having it already dispersed through a carrier oil makes it a lot easier to mix into the main batch. Any colorant that you're working on, that works a lot better to do that with. Here's my exfoliant. This is red quinoa. It's one of my favorite exfoliants to use for soap. I thought the red and green would complement each other nicely. And then we're just going to work all that exfoliant and colorant through the batch. And you can see as it starts to combine. Okay, and we're just about done. We've got it all dispersed through. You can see that nice minty green color that came out from the spinach. And then we're going to go ahead and pour. I did want to mention, I forgot to say earlier, the 4 to 6 tablespoons of powder that I used. It seemed like quite a bit, but we are doing 3 batches. So this is 30 bars of soap. And there's 1, 2, and 3 loaves of soap. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the finished bar. There it is. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching today. Like, comment, subscribe, check out our Facebook page and our Etsy shop.